What's this? A completed project? Never. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. And yes, you heard me correct, I've finished a project. Now that doesn't happen very often for me, so I thought I'd do a quick video just to show you what I've been up to and what I've been painting with this particular project. So what have I been up to? Now, just under 2 years ago, I rewatched the most awesome Jason and the Argonauts. Now I think we all know where this is going. Yeah, skeletons. So I watched Jason the Argonauts. I mean, I think everyone's seen it. If you haven't, go and watch it. It's brilliant and timeless and just fantastic. But there's a famous scene in that towards the end of the film where Aeetes throws the Hydra's teeth onto the ground and 7 skeletons rise and start doing battle with Jason and what remains of the Argonauts. And as I was watching that scene, I thought, you know what? I really fancy painting some skeletons. Often that happens with gamers and films. Inspiration can strike anywhere, and it did with me with Jason the Argonauts. So a couple of days later I found myself buying skeletons and undead things and creepy things, and after I'd ordered them I thought, well, what can I use them for? Then I remembered Warlords of Erehwon by Warlord Games. It featured quite heavily in the early days of the channel. I've not really visited it since then. But it's a miniature agnostics game, sort of warband level, and I thought that's ideal because I'm going to be using several different, manufacturers' figures for this project. And I've been sort of working on it in between other bits and pieces, but now it's finished. And so what I thought I'd do is do a bit of a showcase video to show you exactly what I've done and the different figures I've used. I'm not going to show you every single figure from every single unit. That would just take up too much time and be rather boring. What I'm going to do is show you the main players, the main bits and pieces. Yeah, and that's what we'll do. So let's start off with the HQ, the leader, the evil bad guy. Now when I initially envisioned this, I knew exactly straight away which figure I wanted to use, and it's this. It's the Necromancer from from Games Workshop. And it's a fantastic figure. Just look at that face. Just look at him. Something a bit Nosferatu looking about him. Evil looking bloke. But again, a brilliant miniature to put together and paint. Really enjoyed working on this. And yeah, I just knew straight away I wanted this figure to be the leader of my Undead warband. It's a fairly old miniature now, but it still does a job. It's a fantastic sculpt, full of character. Again, just look at that face. Ugh. He's seen some horrors, hasn't he? So straight away, that's what I wanted my leader to be. Now with the leader, you get some bodyguards. And so I picked up some skeletons. It was a skeleton pack by Mantic. Sort of these multi-part skeletons. And I thought they do a really good. So what I've done is these are his bodyguards, sort of his yeah, his bodyguard basically. Get to focus. Like I said, these are by Mantic, and sort of 2-piece. 3-piece at most, but they're brilliant. Really nice sculpts, full of detail. And I thought these are going to be a lot different from sort of the rank and file that I'll show you later on. I just like the way they've got these. They look a bit sort of ceremonial, so I think they work really well as his honor guard. Getting tattered clothes, bones sticking out. There's a certain malevolence about them. But they are his bodyguards. Now on the sprue was this little thing. It's like a skeletal animal. I thought, you know what, that'll make a brilliant looking familiar. Because necromancers and wizards and magic-y types in Warlords of Erehwon can take familiars. And there we go. I thought it does. It works really well. Fits in with the theme. So up next was he needed an undead champion, and it's this guy here. So it's a Frostgrave cultist body. I think the arms and the heads are from that that pack as well. But it works really well. Again, really simple little kit to put together. So he is a champion. You can also have a mounted champion. So I know I've sort of not added anything more to this, but I may add a variant of a mounted champion on there. So that's him. And then we have this, I think they're called the Skeleton Guard. These are a step up from your bog standard Skelly. Again, these are from Mantic, same spruers as the Honor Guard. I just think these look really good. They're such fun to paint. Again, they're multi-part, sort of 2 to 3 pieces on each model. I thought they would stand out from the rank and file, which are over there. They were just sort of plain skeletons. Really nice figures from Mantic. And this last chap here. Rah. Yep, great, really nice kit. Now the next thing from Mantic, you can take a stone thrower, and you know who's going to pass up the opportunity to take a stone thrower? So this is from Mantic. This is for Kings of War, and it's an undead. So they throw skulls rather than stones. It's they're throwing their friends' heads. Let's put it that way. Again, really nice model put together. A lot of fun to paint, and just a wonderful addition. Lovely kit from Mantic. Guy there with the telescope looking at who they're going to fling heads at. So that was my... It's going to count as a stone throw, but they're actually... Yeah. They're throwing their friends' heads across the battlefield. Lovely stuff. Okay, so that's sort of the big things out of the way. Now, for the rank and file, I went with this. So this is by Warlord Games. It's called Children of the Hydra's Teeth, and it's a skeleton box. And from that you can make them armed with spears, bows and arrows, and swords. So I've done 2 small units of archers, 2 units of skellies with swords and shields, and 1 with spears. So let's start off and have a look at a couple of the chaps with spears. Here we go. Now these were quite possibly the most simple things I have ever painted. Just so quick and easy to paint. Now if you watch the Plastic Crap podcast, and you should, you may have heard me talking about a very interesting quirk that this kit has. Now they're multi-part. Oh boy, are they multi-part. They even come with separate feet. That's right, their feet are separate from the rest of the body. Now I couldn't work it out either. I'm sure there's a reason for it. I just can't work that one out. And which made putting them together a bit of a challenge, I'll be honest. In fact, it probably took longer to assemble these skeletons than it did to actually paint them. But once they go together, they look really good. You can get some proper dynamic poses on them. So it is a nice kit. It's just the separate feet just stung me. So there's another spearman. Again, once they're together, they look brilliant and they're really quick to paint. It's just a bone colour, a wash, and a dry brush, and then pick out the metallics. So I've got 1 unit of spearmen, and there they are, and they come with a champion, and just like any leader of a squad, whether he's alive or dead, he's pointing. Look, he's definitely a leader because he's pointing. What you'll notice is there's lots of clump foliage on these bases, and that's to hide the awful job I did of connecting their feet bone to their ankle bones. Yeah. Okay, so with the spearmen, we also have some chaps with swords and shields. Again, same kit, just different options. Painted exactly the same way. Look at his jaw. He's had better days, hasn't he? But again, you can create some really dynamic poses, and they're just so quick to paint. Really nice figures, and I think the way I've painted these, you'll notice they're they look a bit rough. Now I did that on purpose. What I like is that rough looking, just get out the ground, manky look. And again, I was definitely inspired by Jason the Argonauts and the look from the skeletons at the end in that end scene. So I went with the dry brush, and I wanted to create a sort of a rough, chalky look over them. And hopefully that's worked. I mean, so I do like the way they've turned out. I mean, these guys look evil. Look at them. They look very, very evil. And I just enjoy painting them. Putting together less so, painting them, yep, quick, and you get some really nice results from them. So these are 2 units of skeletons with swords and shields. Now the box also gives you skeleton archers as well, and so I've made some of those. There we go. So I've got 2 units of 6, or I can make them possibly into a maximum unit of 10 for Warlords of Erehwon. With the box as well, there's very little in the way of instructions, so you can just basically use what's in the box as far as arms and weapon combinations go. And I had a lot of fun, like I say, making some rather unique looking poses with these chaps. Let's have a look at one more archer. Here we go. Right. There. So they were sort of the rank and file down, and then I heard on the grapevine that Wargames Atlantic were releasing a combination of cavalry and chariot in one box, and I waited and waited, and it finally came out, and I bought it and I painted it up, and I enjoyed it immensely. Let's start off with a look at some skeleton cavalry. I was on a bit of a quest for undead cavalry, and a lot of them had armor, and I didn't want that. I wanted them to fit in with the sort of the rank and file, and a lot of them were just ornate armor or something like that. I didn't like the aesthetic. It wouldn't fit in with the undead that I've already done. But so when Wargames Atlantic released this, I was like, yes, I must obtain and paint this. And again, these were just painted exactly the same way as the rank and file skeletons. Again, just a lot of fun. I think you can't go wrong with painting skeletons. And here's the unit leader with a helmet to make him stand out. He's not pointing this time. But there's just a classic fantasy feel to this box. Now with the box as well, you also get the option to either build 1 or 2 chariots. So I built 1, and this was stonkingly good. I really did enjoy this. I painted this over 2 days. I just couldn't put it down. I've been quite minimal with it, so I've not gone over the top with the colours. 2 crew, 1 with sword, 1 with spear. Oddly, 1 with a trumpet. Now, for someone with no lungs, can someone please explain to me how he's going to blow that trumpet? Because I'm all ears. I joke, of course. It's fantasy. Again, a lot of fun to put this together. Put on a properly big base, went a bit over the top with the basing, and I just think it looks really cool. Now I may have enough bits and pieces, possibly I may need to pick up another box, but I want to add a second chariot, because I just like, who doesn't like a skeleton chariot? It's brilliant. So that was almost everything, and then this was something else. Now you get an option of adding sort of beastly creatures to your warbands. Now I was initially going to add I'd actually picked up one of the giants by Mantic, and I got thinking, it didn't really fit the aesthetic. Why would a giant be knocking around with some undead types? But I could take it's called a carrion beast. So again, I looked at several that, would they fit the bill? And then I found this on my mini factory. It's a 3D print. And it's massive. This is actually reduced. I actually printed this at 60% of its normal size. This has been reduced by almost half. I look at the size of it compared to just, it's huge, but it was a lot of fun to paint, and I really enjoyed working on it. It's a stunning 3D print. Looks like Emu's evil cousin. So he's the carrion beast. I just thought it was a great way of sort of finishing off the army and having a sort of a big centerpiece for it. But while I was doing that, I was also thinking about objectives or scenery, and I put this together. Again, another classic fantasy aesthetic to it. And I think these bits and pieces are from the giant box by Mantic. I think they just came as bits of accessories. I thought it'd make a nice objective or a piece of scenery. So I just knocked it off over a couple of nights. Yeah, nice way to end the project, really, working on this. But there we have it. I have finished a project, and it's fantasy and it's skeletons, and it was immense fun to put together. And it's really awoken my fantasy sort of, classic fantasy ideas. I really want to work on another warband, Warlords of Erehwon warband. So I'm going to be doing that. Again, something different. You don't often see fantasy on this channel, so I just thought I'd do something a bit different. Well, I hope you have found the video enjoyable. If you've got any questions about this or wargaming in general, just pop them down in the comments below, and I'll certainly respond to all comments and questions. But as always, thanks for watching. Do take care, may your dice roll well, and I'll catch you all in the next video. So, bye-bye for now.